So, you've all seen probably many videos, highlights, and maybe even the full fight itself of Ngannou versus Fury that I just watched, and that was a hard fight to score. There are so many moments of inactivity in this fight. First off, I scored the 2nd and 10th, that's the final round, the 10th of course, both even. The second, I thought Francis had some better punches earlier on, I seem to remember, but Fury was more active and threw and landed slightly more.
Simpson did it! Simpson did it!
I literally had to go over this to make it fair. Seriously, I rewound some parts and looked at it real careful. The final round was maybe the biggest joke round I've ever seen. The drunk losers in backyard wrestling YouTube videos from Croatia who can't even make local circus acts do more to win rounds in their post-match interviews than Fury and Ngannou did in that round. It's like they were just waiting for a welfare check. I mean, I'm seriously, they're just standing there the whole time. They do a few head fakes, they throw a few jabs that don't touch. I think they might land 2 or 3 light jabs in that. Fury looked like he tried to throw, I think he might have grazed him with a power punch or a jab near the end. And there was that attempt at a Superman punch by, I'm not even sure if that's legal in boxing, although I'm sure I've seen Deontay Wilder do something like that. The first round I had Fury. I just wanted to say that right off the bat, I like how he goes up with a bit of a head fake and tries to throw a Deontay Wilder style windmill punch like he's some drunken brawler in a bar.
Brought to you by Alexander Usyk. Making funny faces at boxing events while waiting for Tyson Fury for a very long time.
I don't know if there were any one-sided. Like, there were some rounds that you can clearly see Fury winning if you're watching carefully, but that's the thing. If you're not watching carefully, you might catch Fury winning a couple rounds, but it's difficult. You gotta actually be paying attention and literally counting with a score chart or a calculator. Like, look at the punch count. I'm gonna show some of the punch counts here. The compubox punch count, right? And it's no surprise that you look at another famous fight when Fury won against Klitschko years ago. They're both very hesitant matches with low punch per round inactivity. You know, I think it was the 2nd or 3rd round in the Klitschko fight that Fury, I think he won. I think they literally said that he landed 2 punches to Klitschko's 1. That's just like, what is this, like soccer? But let's compare to some more classic fights here. So I got Lennox Lewis versus Evander Holyfield. The second one, which was the more even fight. And if you look at these numbers here, yeah, Andy, let's take it up a notch. This one's a bigger one. The first of the Riddick Bowe versus Holyfield fights. I mean, look at the numbers here. Look at this. I mean, you've got thrown 711 punches by Riddick Bowe. That just completely dwarfs like 454 punches total were thrown in the Fury and Ngannou fight. Now that's 10 rounds, but it only would have gotten up. It wouldn't have equaled 711. I can tell you that much. That's and even 475 by Holyfield. Like 242 landed by Holyfield, 357 landed by Bowe, and the 50% and 51. I mean, that's definitely higher average than average. That's like a Rocky kind of fight, you know. That's like Rocky versus. Obviously, Ngannou gets 10-8 in the 3rd with the knockdown. He was winning that round too. Fury came up with a 1-2, looked good, and then he did it again. You know, he got overly aggressive. He should have stayed back with the jab a little more. Fury wins the 4th, the 5th, that was pretty close, and the 6th.
In that last round. Oh, an elbow came in on the back end of that. What?
That elbow in the 6th looks bad from the rear angle. But in real time from the side, if we show it here, it seemed just like a short punch which would have missed, and Francis kind of walked into the elbow. I can't really say for sure, but it just, to me, when you're watching it in real time, I just don't see Fury planning an elbow like that, you know. Regardless, Ngannou wins the 7th, and the 8th is the easiest round to score for Ngannou. That was, or any round of the fight. He lands, I think there was a 4-punch combo, and they're almost a 5. There was definitely some moments. Fury starts to come back late in the round, but, you know, like, he walks into some of these punches. Like, I mean, like, you'd think as he's getting hit here, he would back off a little and use his jab more, but he does the opposite. It's like stupid does as stupid is, or whatever Forrest Gump used to say. The 9th, Fury wins, and this is an example of how Fury could have or should have fought the fight, like the whole fight. You know, it's a safe approach, and most of the fight, Francis just stands in the middle of the ring and doesn't do a lot. Yeah, there were times he holds his hands up in a way. He's able to block and parry against punches. He's able to defend pretty well, and he's able to cut the distance down at times and back Fury into corners. But first of all, there are only like a handful of times at most where he does back Fury down and actually have anything really threatening. You know, like take a look at the knockdown, for example. Could you imagine Mike Tyson after doing something like that? There are 20 seconds or so left in the round, 25 seconds. After that, he doesn't do anything. He just sort of slowly walks at Fury, doesn't even throw punches. Mike Tyson would have smelled blood and he would have come at him like a pack of Wolverines. It would have been like trash food. But back to this Francis, if you watch, he does stand around in the middle of the ring and doesn't do a lot. There's a lot of times he's kind of just standing there. He does look like a dangerous, intimidating guy, and he does have the art of power. I would actually love to see Wilder versus Ngannou. He's done enough to earn another shot. I mean, he's just fought arguably the best guy in the world. Don't get me wrong, I think Usyk is really a better boxer. Fury can be a better boxer, but he's got this sort of unpredictable kind of way, like the way he's been knocked down in the past by guys like Steve Cunningham and that first guy that knocked him down from Croatia.
So far tonight. Oh, Fury is down! Fury is down for the first time in his career! Caught by Pikage!
That guy, whatever his name is, Jagpaw or Jogpaw or whatever, Jongpaw, I can't remember what his name is, Pawjaw. Like that guy had some pretty good aggression. He's an unheard of boxer and he's never really done a whole lot, but he had some power. He floored Fury with a good punch and Fury learned his lesson. But Fury at times, you'd watch him in those days, he looked so good. He'd throw lots of jabs, nice combos, he'd showboat a little bit, switch to southpaw.
Tyson Fury once bullied the father of Joe Rogan, Martin Rogan, who is a paraplegic 40-year-old midget.
And if he can keep that punch working, it looks less convincing now than it did earlier on. Good combination again, and that has really hurt Rogan.
And then all of a sudden, you know, things could go wrong for him, like it did then and against Steve Cunningham. And don't get me wrong, Steve Cunningham was a good boxer. And don't give me that cruiserweight crap. He was 210 pounds and 6'2" or 3. You know, Evander Holyfield was 210-15 through a lot of his career, and he was a converted cruiserweight too, just like Usyk. I know I'm standing up for Fury on that, but hey, Ngannou did a great job. He shocked everyone, and this, even getting a loss in a decision, is arguably
Still undefeated.
it may be the greatest upset of all time. It's in a sense, it's on the same level as Buster Douglas against Tyson. It's totally unbelievable that a guy would fight such a good. See, that's the thing. Fury, is he as good of a boxer as Usyk? Is that fight even gonna happen? He is in a lot of ways, and he's got the reach, he's got the size, but Usyk, he's such a smart technical boxer. He can wrap combos up really quick together. And his footwork, like Fury's got good footwork, but Usyk's footwork is like like Djokovic in tennis, man. Benson C. Sally says, Anthony Wilcox, I agree, Tony. I don't know why it's Tony, did he change his name or something? Ngannou was not letting his punches go. He was relying on counter-punching. Rounds 9 and 10 for 1. Ngannou literally went to sleep. Fury was pathetic, but he won fair and square. It's fairly accurate. It was the guy's first ever boxing match, and it was against the current WBC world champion. And here you are being critical of his performance? I mean, he's just saying what it is. And Fabrizio says he did a great job, although I believe Fury still won. Ngannou may have been a little too cautious in the final rounds, and he was. Didn't put a lot of pressure on Fury. If he had a few more matches before this one, the result would surely have been different. Probably. I mean, obviously, that's the first thing you would think of. If he had more experience, he could have done better. If he'd had a few more bouts before this one, Fury would have ducked him. I can't argue with that. That's what he's the best at. I don't think he was as sloppy as much as he was cautious. He knew he couldn't just trade blows with the hardest hitting man on the planet. He played it smart. Just kept winning rounds, blah, blah, blah. Sloppy fight by Fury and a good fight by Ngannou, but other than the knockdown, he didn't do anything. If he would have thrown more punches, he may have pulled it off. Fury just outpointed him. Fury looked horrible, making his opponent look that much better. I agree, it seems too many people don't understand scoring in boxing. Francis did so much better than I thought he would.